Good day, mate. 皆さんこんにちは、順平です。今日は、僕の英語の先生のトムにインタビューしたいと思います。それでは始めていきます。Let's get started. How old are you?
I'm 27 years old.
27 years old. He's younger than me. Ooh. Where are you from?
I'm from the Hunter Valley, which is a northern part of the New South Wales. You go about 4 hours north of Sydney.
Alright.
Find yourself in a beautiful region of the world, famous for wine, among many other things. Yeah.
Oh, so you like wine?
I do like red wine, yeah.
Alright.
Hunter Valley wine.
When did you become a teacher?
I became a teacher about 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
I was studying at university. I studied finance and Spanish.
Yes.
Which is a 4-year degree where I studied. Although in my third year, I began to realize that finance wasn't particularly the career or the avenue that I was interested in pursuing most.
Yeah.
And so I spent a year overseas studying abroad in Madrid, Spain.
Yeah.
I started to learn Spanish and I started teaching English just casually to friends.
Alright.
And so when I came back to Australia, I decided to change paths.
Yeah.
And I studied a teaching course here at the school, International House, Sydney.
Yeah.
And then very shortly after, a week after, in fact, I finished, then I technically became an English teacher.
Alright. Oh, so lucky.
It was very fortunate.
Yeah. So you realized teaching English is very fun in Spain.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed not only teaching English, but meeting people and socializing with a huge variety of different people. And then, analyzing and understanding language also became a huge interest of mine.
That's great. But for me, if you study finance for 3-4 years in university, and then you quit that way, and to be teacher is a little bit hard for me. But
a lot of people in Australia would also find the same.
Alright.
Luckily, my parents were very supportive.
Oh, it's good.
When I was thinking about which decision to make, they said, look, if you're very interested and it makes you, happy, then you should go and do that.
Yeah, it's good.
Quite lucky.
Oh, nice. Do you like your job so far? And which part is your favorite?
Yeah, I really do enjoy my job to the extent that it really doesn't feel like regular employment. It's not really like, I have to go to work. It's more like I get to go to work and I get to meet new students and to become involved in their pursuit of mastering English as a language to really open doors and to expand their opportunities in Australia. And so it really does feel like I'm making some small amount of difference in students who have made a great effort to be here.
Can you earn a lot of money?
You definitely can. It firstly would depend on the availability of work. So not, for example, during a pandemic that's hit the globe, but during potentially normal times. If you are already working in a school that has, let's say, a large number of students, and you might be already teaching a morning class, then you might say, well, I'll teach 4 hours in the morning, then perhaps I can also teach in the evening for another 4 hours. So technically, can you work? Yeah, you could work from 8 to 12, you can have a break, and you could work 5 to 9 p.m. It's not a particularly enjoyable lifestyle. You're spending a lot of time at work, you're arriving at 7:30, you're finishing at 9:30 at night. That will earn you much more money, in fact, twice as much as a regular teacher. So is it possible? Absolutely. Not a lot of teachers will choose that particular lifestyle, but it is available.
But through this course, I realized the preparation is very hard. So I think real working time is like 8 hours something, but you need preparation. But in total, maybe you work around 12 hours, for example, but you can't get money for preparation.
Well, in theory, technically your face-to-face rate includes that preparation time, and so the face-to-face rate is a little bit higher than it might otherwise be because it includes that preparation time. So that's part of how it works. But it does definitely take a lot of preparation, and it'll take much more preparation at the beginning, and then as you gain more experience and you build up your resources of activities, it'll take you less and less time. So it's inversely proportional to your experience.
Right. Now I just finished my course today, And for the future, I want to be a teacher with this certificate. And do you have a recommendation to be a teacher or to get more improved?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would say the best thing to do would be to start teaching as soon as you can,
Yeah.
in any way that you can. So in this current time, it might be best to start online, and you could look at websites like Italki, and there are a number of others.
Yes.
So start just, even if you offer lessons for free, it'll be still a great experience to build up that experience of meeting real students,
Okay.
understanding the process of setting up the lesson, setting expectations clearly. You could also look at volunteering. You could find communities or church groups or
Church groups.
refugee groups or really any sector of the community that is interested in having you and just volunteering. And that'll help you to the extent that when you get to an interview, you can offer that experience as something that you can use before you start working. So that's actually quite something that directors will look for, something with experience, not just a course.
I see. So, but I don't have enough confidence to get a job.
Yeah, well, you have to begin somewhere, right?
Yeah.
That's
Is it possible for me?
Absolutely,
Okay.
without a doubt.
Okay, thank
Without a
you.
doubt.
Thanks so much. Are you going to work here for a while, or do you have any plan?
It's a difficult question.
Yeah.
I'm really always looking for new opportunities
Oh, really?
professionally, not because I'm looking to get away from this particular role, but I'm just always interested in what else there is to do in the world. And so recently I've been looking at different jobs in the Defence Force because they have a lot of very interesting roles within cryptology and linguists and similar positions. But that's nothing confirmed or finalized yet. In terms of a dream,
Yeah.
really just to continue enjoying what I do every day. It doesn't
Oh,
really
right.
matter so much exactly what that involves, but
Yeah.
it's that I'm enjoying and looking forward to that work. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. From here, I want to talk about English for Japanese people. Right. So, what are the strong points and the weak points for Japanese to study or speak in English?
Okay, interesting question. I would say across all the levels, the Japanese have a very high, a very strong ability to use grammatically accurate sentences. So they're typically very accurate. They're very cautious and careful, and they're producing highly coherent sentences. The downside of that is that it often takes a lot of time to think of that sentence.
Yeah, exactly.
Or perhaps even more commonly is that they simply don't produce the sentence because they're not sure if it's 100% correct.
Yeah.
And so this may mean that they speak less in class,
Yes.
but when they do, it's almost perfect. So as a teacher, you're really trying to draw them out and to encourage them to speak even more and kind of break down that reticence to speak, I would say. So those are kind of opposing sides of the same area. And then in terms of weaknesses,
Yes.
it might be related to the different sounds that you have in Japanese and those that are quite different in English. So the typical like L and R, like S and Z, and so different sounds that perhaps in Japanese there's only one sound, in English there are more than one.
Yeah.
So those can be quite difficult, but by no means not impossible to overcome.
Yeah. So as you said, we have difficulties in pronunciation. So how can I improve my pronunciation?
Really just being immersed within a culture of English speakers, and that may not be Aussies, it may be foreign English speakers or Americans or British, but the more exposure you have, the better. So the more you're listening to those sounds, the more you're exposed to those different sounds, and then you can almost just kind of either repeat what they say, you can try to copy what they say, and then you might just watch American or British series, and then just practice repeating the dialogue of the characters.
Okay.
Multiple times. Just keep replaying. On YouTube you can recycle like 2 or 3 times. Just keep saying the same.
Yeah.
Just really drill that sound so you can firstly listen and identify the difference, and then only then can you actually produce the difference. So you need to understand it first cognitively before you do it physically with your mouth.
Yeah.
And then, you really need to practice moving your mouth more. Often for Japanese people, it's that they speak with a very closed mouth. So it may involve opening the mouth more, moving the tongue more emphasis.
Yes.
Would definitely go a long way.
Okay. You're so handsome.
Wow.
Actually, I think everybody agrees. Yeah, he's very handsome.
Post a comment below if you agree or disagree.
And I heard you have a Korean girlfriend.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, so is it possible for Japanese girls to get a nosy boyfriend?
Absolutely, of course.
I'm sorry. But how do they meet Aussie people?
In Australia, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean that's a good question. Not just between Japanese and Aussies, but generally I think nowadays the difficulties in meeting people has resulted in a huge surge in the use of online dating apps, and a lot of Aussies would use those. So perhaps Japanese girls might look to those if they're looking to save time when meeting Aussies. But otherwise, you could always do the traditional approach of going to a club or a bar. That's not my approach. I don't like bars or clubs at all. But there will be a lot of other Aussie guys. Perhaps they could try going to a football game. Maybe they'll find some Aussie guys there. But really anywhere in the street. I mean, they could study something. Or I'd recommend just finding a hobby that you're interested in. If you meet people through that, then hopefully they share your values.
Oh, right.
That's what I'd recommend.
Yeah, okay. So if Japanese people come to here in Australia or to meet you, like they can improve their English and they can get a boyfriend or Aussie guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits. You can go to the beach and you can have all of these things and more.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. So at last, so can you give a message to the people who are studying English?
I would say it may seem that you're making very, very small progress at first, and that may be the case, but if you continue, then the gains will start very small and they'll pick up very, very quickly. And as soon as you have the ability to travel and to meet foreign people and to understand their culture, then do so as soon as you can, and you'll begin to see the benefit of being able to communicate across different cultures.
Okay, oh, perfect. Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
Thank you. Thank you, bye. Cheers.